Peace and blessings to my fellow brothers and sisters in humanity and to the viewers. Oh man, what is there to talk about? Though there is a lot to talk about, but most certainly there is a lot to talk about. For there is certainly the world outside, and even the existence to which I found myself in is quite full of mysteries. Mysteries, most certainly. The mysteries of the outside world, and even the mysteries of my individual self. You know, it is of my this conclusion most certainly hasn't been something that I was aware of, let's say perhaps, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, within the past 20 years, that's roughly so. However, gradually, the years, the weeks, the months, this has it has comes they have come with the benefits to my individual self, and besides speaking perhaps some of the good days that you go to work and you had a lot of money, besides the financial benefits of it, sometimes I'm mostly referring to the individual growth, and this growth specifically has to be with the mind. With the mind, it seems it is of utmost necessity that it seems the reality of the existence to which I have been placed, and please mark my word by saying placed, since it is illogical. It is illogical for the species that is known as the human being to, since it does have this potential of being a reasonable being to which you can derive conclusion. The act of reasoning is observing and deriving some sort of conclusion from that which you are observing. With that being said, it is of my conclusion that I have to use the word the existence to which I have been placed in, since it is in the conclusion, though this conclusion comes with some, it seems there are some challenges that has been orchestrated, that has been I'll try to use simple words. For indeed, though I finished high school, but I'm not like a highly educated individual. I didn't go to those fancy Ivy League schools, those. I went to college, but I unfortunately I was on. I simply couldn't. I simply didn't have it in me to sit down and listen to another individual that is yes, the teachers, the educators, they have filled with information that has been installed by a fellow individual. And this fellow individual, I will refer to this fellow individuals as perhaps the ruling class of the land and the so-called intellectuals of today, but not just today. Actually, that'll be one of my conclusion is that this is a common. It is a common recurring thing of this existence, and that is the ruling class set up a system of so-called education to pass down to the so-called masses. Or I would like to not be. I would try my best to use words that are as clear so that we do not continue to try to deceive ourselves more in the deceptive existence which we find ourselves in. So, the ruling class, so-called, make a system to educate the peasant, that you, the viewers, and me, your host, we are, that is the reality. That education is mainly for the preserving the mansions to which the ruling class really love. I'm one that I do not. It isn't logical if you understand, if you have a little glimpse, a beak of the bird drinking from the ocean of understanding. Just a beak is very very small of the reality. I am of one that I do not have I don't see myself as an individual of a high morality of sorts, for the reality is it is a contradiction to be so-called on a moral standard, to have a moral standard in a reality that if you want to achieve, let's say, and that which to be achieved will be, a life of ease, a life of abundance, access to whatever you want, the best of the best is if possible. And that includes, the four-legged beautiful horses, to the two-legged beautiful, the most beautiful thing on the planet, the woman, to the best of rare artifact or stones, or whatever the earth that has been embedded in the earth that is of high quality. It seems it is a logical conclusion that the existence isn't based on so-called having a moral standard without a a reason And I would like